Hello, this is Calvin from Cummings Mobility making a video here for Jimmy and Eric and just making sure. So I finally got the van to a point where I can do this video and give you guys a solid, expectation on this van. So, operating that ramp system, I'm just going to hold this button on the key fob remote. Once the door pops, I can let it, I can release it, let it do its thing. Okay, so, there's going to be things I point out to you in this van. It's at a great price point where first thing right off the gate, you may notice this threshold plate. This threshold, it's very common where they start chipping like that, where, it's one of those things where it's powder coated. You can see I recently wiped this floor here, but, it's in a condition where I can, show it because it came in on consignment to where it needed to be cleaned. But first things first is looking at that threshold plate. I see that all the time. It's normal. It's chipping to where it's powder coated. And if that's something that concerns you, just let me know. But I assure you, it's nothing to be concerned of. I need to wipe the ramp and still, it's not in its final form, you guys, to where I got the passenger seat out right now. It is right over there, and I'll show you how all this works here. All right, so entering the van, you got your third row bench seat right there. There is a footrest for the bench seat. All right, I need to clean underneath this seat still. Clearly there's a screwdriver right there from the previous guy, but yeah, still need to get a better cleaning going here. There is trying to get this to come back to life, a little bit of wrinkles on this seat here. It's not too bad, but I believe it will come back to life where just some wrinkles on that seat that I've noticed. Besides that, it's actually a solid van. This here, that's that seat I was telling you about, Jimmy, where the previous user would transfer into this seat. So you have controls on the side of the seat that I understand, Eric, you may never use the feature on this seat, but it's there. So it's a $5,000 seat base right here. It allows the seat base to come back. And it pivots. So the previous guy, would come in here with his wheelchair, make that transfer, get into that spot, drive the vehicle. This van does have hand controls at the moment. You see he operated the pedals with those controls. My guy, they come out in like 10 minutes. I am going to have those removed before you take ownership of this van. You see here 37651. Again, the van still needs to be even more detailed, but I got a good surface here of cleaning. The passenger seat here, so I'm going to put this, wrong button there. That was it, just clutching itself out. It's a normal sound. This seat can go up, down, left, right, forward. Open this door here, and I'll show you that it's still your standard seat. It's not anything to be concerned of, but just making sure we have an expectation here. Limited trim level, that's why you have this wood grain finish on some of the spots. You got some features that you may not use, but at the same time, you got the TV, the additional lighting there, the sunroof. So, it's a high trim. Let's take a look around the van here. I'll show you the passenger seat as well. Let's see it's shiny. It's not, there's no clear coat coming off of it or anything. Tire tread. Let's look at the tire tread. So here I know Jimmy here, here we go. Look at this. Okay. These are the front tires, so I mean, let's put it in a good spot here. Let's go in the middle tread now. I mean, they're not bald by any means. They're actually in good shape, in my opinion. Like, these things are solid. And let's go to the back ones here. Am I holding it straight? There we go. Let's go to the other next one. I mean, you can see it's covering at least a quarter to a half in some spots. It's about half. No corrosion on the wheels or anything. Each lug nut is in good shape to where there's no corroded spots. No chips in the bottom flares. A lot of the times these bottom flares here, they have cracks or chips, but they're in excellent condition. The underside is very clean. I mean, yeah, this thing's in the exterior is where it really shines. A couple imperfections on the inside that I pointed out, you know, one being that threshold plate. I would say that's the only eyesore on this van, is that threshold plate. Buttons on the inside to operate the ramp. I'm going to press this button here. Push a one button system, the ramp will go in, that sliding door will shut automatically. Let's check around the van here. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, there's no door jams are good, and this thing is right now. I pulled the handle on that door, so that does not deploy the ramp. You can operate that sliding door without deploying the ramp. So if you need access on this side by just simply stepping in, you know, here's the height to where it gives you kind of an example of. I mean, it's not that high off the ground. The lowest point on this van is the exhaust system, so 5.5 inches from the bottom of the ground. Open up the hatch, let's see. Alright, not too bad. Lots of extra space. With this trim package, you know, you have the automatic recline, you know, to where you can fold that seat down. Usually that's manually operated, but with the limited trim, you have that power function right there. Obviously, the stow and go is no longer a feature in this, so I mean, there is some buttons that just are deactivated. Spare tire. Looking good. Yeah, vacuum that area out a little bit better. Nice little cubby over here. Sorry, not that good of lighting, but you got a good gist of it. Alright, and then automatic hatch, so we got this. There you go. Securements. Let's go over that. These securements are the ones that come with the van. Q-straight. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing it like that. Let me shut this door. And then I'm going to deploy the ramp. Let's see here. What did I do with the keys? Set the keys down somewhere. The windshield, yep. No chips in the windshield. No cracks or chips. It's in good shape. Let's get this ramp back out. That's where I set the keys down. Right there. Yep. wheelchair securements. You know, there's going to be a set of 4 that come with this van. So for an example, I'm going to use this front passenger area. They just clip into the floor up here. Might need 2 hands for this. Oh, I'm going to use 2 hands real quick. There we go. Okay, locked in the floor, still rotates. Simply just pull it out. And, you know, so picture, you know, 4 of those. You got 1 right there, 1 on that track system right there, and then 2 more in the back here. So having Eric's wife ride directly in this passenger position while occupying her chair is a possibility. And so I'll show you the seat belt here. She can ride in this middle section or that front passenger section. Set this down here real quick. Alrighty, just making sure that, okay, this is the right one. Take that out. Okay. I'm just putting this buckle into the floor, so it latches into the floor just like, hey guys, just these retractables. So it's the same L-track system. That belt just locks into the floor. You can move it around wherever you want. Here's the belt. You're going to use the OEM seat belt. And, you know, so retractables on the floor are there. You secure her chair. And you have a seat belt system where, let me back up and show you, you know, so once she's in position, it makes more sense, obviously. You got that buckle that will be on her left side, utilizing that OEM belt right there. Okay, so that's that. Putting that seat in out there, there's the seat. That seat is on wheels. You just roll it in here and it locks right into those dog bones right there. So I'll show you that. I'm going to get this out of the way because that seat will not go in this position if, you know, retractables are there. You got to choose whether she's riding in the middle or, oh, don't put those there. You just got to choose whether she's riding in the middle or that front passenger. Yeah, set of 4 come with that van. It's like $530 that you're saving. All right, so I'm gonna set the phone down and then bring. Oh. All right, here I come. Bring the seat into the van. Again, the seat is on wheels, so it's not too difficult. Hardest part is just getting it into position. All right, so I have the seats in the ready to go in position. So it's not locked in the floor. It's just simply in the correct position to be locked in. So I'm going to show you that, you know, it just, no right or wrong way of doing it. You just, right now it's not in. So I'm just gonna line the piece up with the puzzle. See, I've got a big gap right there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that gap until that front end drops in. You'll see, here I'll try showing it in the video here, so that it's ready to go in. Now, I just push down this pedal, let the seat come down, seat is in position, undo this plug, and this plug, you know, is the power for your passenger seat, so I just simply put it into that guy right there. You know, so I'm just screwing it in there. And now you have your passenger seat. Just bringing the seat back to show you what it looks like. All right, so yeah. Passenger seat is in. Nice and snug. Yeah, again, it's not in its final form, boys. We're We're going to have this thing ready before the New Year's. I'm looking at next week for you. All we got to do is get rid of those hand controls. I got to pick up that lien release at the bank. But the lien release is here. It's local. All I got to do is go pick it up. It's about a mile down the road. But hopefully this helps, because it's a sweet van. It's a great price. And I thank you guys for the opportunity. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve here. And yeah, I'll send you the YouTube link. Thanks again. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.